Hello, everybody. This is Sophia Mona Lisa of the Golden Ray Center and the Rosewell Mystery School. Carol is getting signed in right here. There she is. Carol, say hello to everybody. So this is take 2 of today's initiation ceremony. At least we can laugh about it, I suppose. We are privately recording this right now to be shared with everyone. We underwent a significant attack from the dark forces, and that was unexpected, and we had to shut everything down. But what I love is when I was speaking to Carol afterwards, she said, Yeshua is coming through. He wants to give you a message. And the message that he said is when we're on this path, and that, you know, that he is walking with us on this path, that Mary Magdalene is walking with us on this path, and that when they were on the planet, that people used to throw rags at them. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, he said they would throw tomatoes and dirty rags at them, dirty articles of clothing. And he's like, teachers that speak the light, that walk the path of light, have always had interactions with people that didn't want them to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had to regroup quickly, which is a challenge for me. But I did it. I rose to the occasion. So Carol and I are privately recording this now for everybody to be able to participate with when they receive it. And then moving forward, starting in March, then it's going to be by private invitation only, so that we don't encounter, hopefully again, what happened today. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can move back over to the slides. And I just want to give a shout out to Angela and Val, who showed up earlier. Appreciate your support. I really do. So that was great. So this image here is of a fortress that is there at the harbor in Alexandria, Egypt, that is kind of a place marker for you to have a mental vision of what you can connect with on the planet in terms of where this Venus temple is, which we were told is near Alexandria, Egypt. Now, the Venus temple guardians here are known as the Shikshek, which is an old language that means teachers. And so I just want to go over the fact that this galactic new Earth project, where we are working with these Venus temples, is aligned with the Venus synodic cycle. The two go hand in hand. You can purchase this book here at this website if you would like to know more about these Venus temples. The material in this Venus temple book was channeled through this woman by the name of Maya. She's a Thoth channeler, and it was Thoth that gave her the information on these Venus temples and where specifically on the planet they are located. Now you'll see here that Thoth calls them Magdalene temples. And we know that the Magdalene is the embodiment of Sophia consciousness. And he calls these temples wombs that contain seeds of light. And so that very much aligns with the work that we're doing through this Galactic New Earth project, where we are downloading these rose gold Christo-Sophia light codes into these Venus temples. And he tells us that Venus is a sister to Earth and a guardian in the solar system, and is aiding the Earth in her transition to becoming a new Earth star. So just to give you that background, why we're working with these Venus temples and why that's connected to the Venus synodic cycle. Now, the Venus synodic cycle is a 19-month journey that Venus makes, creating a rose pattern in the sky. And that 19-month journey is divided into 4 phases. We are in the first phase, known as the descent journey, also known as the morning star journey. And in this descent journey, each one of our chakras is activated when Venus and the moon come together in the sky, which happens to be today. And so, you know, our energy centers, our chakra centers are our ability to access our multi-dimensional self. And Sophia shared with me last year during the second phase of the Venus cycle, called the Inanna underworld phase, that these chakras also are portals to access the different aspects of Sophia consciousness and the different aspects of Christ consciousness, and also different spiritual gifts. So last month, January, the activation was this gate. I use the words gate and portal interchangeably. The crown chakra, where we were given access to the Father aspect of Christ, and where we could access the spiritual gift of unity consciousness. This month, as we're going through this descent journey, we are now here at the third eye chakra. And at the third eye chakra, we have access to the sun aspect of Christ and the spiritual gift of Shanti consciousness. Shanti is a Sanskrit word that means peace, and Shanti consciousness is love and thought. So each month, as we're going through this descent journey, we will be activating each subsequent chakras, each gate activation, each portal activation. Now, last month, January, I didn't talk a lot about these energy centers. I did receive a request to share a little bit about these energy centers, so I'm going to do that briefly. At the crown chakra, this is, as we said, your gate of spiritual authority, where you have access to unity consciousness. So through the descent journey, what we're doing is we're clearing out and we're cleansing out frequencies related to separation consciousness, so we can expand more fully into that wholeness, that unity consciousness. Here at the third eye, we call it the gate of perception. And that has to do with the way that we are able to discern and perceive truth. So through the descent journey, we are clearing and cleansing any frequencies that would inhibit our ability to discern truth. So that might be, you know, any false beliefs that you may have inherited from your family, any propaganda that you may be seeing out on the mainstream media, anything that would skew your ability to discern truth. So clearing all of that out so that you can expand your ability to clearly discern truth. So next month, then we'll be here at the throat chakra. So just want to remind you of this excerpt from a message that I received from Sophia back in January, where she talks about how as we go through this journey, as each portal or gate, each chakra is being activated, she is birthing her light codes within each one of us. And so for each one of us, our personal light grid is being rewired to align with the cosmic Sophia frequencies. And so as we do this incrementally through this descent journey, we are becoming more and more disconnected from the dark matrix that has been on this planet for tens of thousands of years. And so what's happening is, come August, when we move into that second phase of the Venus synodic cycle, the Inanna underworld, we will experience what's called the death by intent portal activation. And at that time, our entire new Christo-Sophianic light grid is going to come online, which will completely liberate us from the dark matrix. Now, she told me that these activations that we are doing with these Christo-Sophia light codes is supporting a huge leap forward for both the planet as Gaia, her ascension, and our own humanity's ascension, and that there has not been such a potent ascension opportunity here on the planet since the 1987 harmonic convergence. So this is very potent, very significant work. And as we were reminded in our earlier attempts to do this, underscoring the significance of what this work is doing for humanity and on the planet. Okay, so these are the gate activations that are in the sky today, and they are related to this Venus-Moon conjunction, which signals the gate activation. Now, in January, I didn't spend a lot of time on these aspects explaining them. I did receive a request to give some insight into that. Briefly, what I want to say, and I was going to show you this chart here. Let me escape from this slide to pull up the chart here. Let me put on my glasses. Okay, so here's the chart for this gate activation. And I'm sorry, this is like really super huge here, and I don't know how to make it smaller. So I'm going to just kind of move it down. Okay, so here we see the moon, Venus, Mars, and Pluto very closely aligned with each other in what we call the first house. These energies are affecting each of us on a personal level with our own self. And across the sky, we see here Yeshua in what's called the seventh house. Okay, the seventh house is the house of relationship. So with Venus and Mars here, we're talking about our inner feminine and our inner masculine coming into balance with each other, coming into that sacred union with each other. And so that alignment and balance of our inner feminine and inner masculine is being empowered by Pluto here. And for those that have never even had any consciousness around the balance of the masculine and feminine energies, this effect of Pluto will even be like a consciousness that is rising from the ashes from them, because they have not in such a long time been connected to that consciousness. So this is a very personal first house activation that's happening for everybody on the planet. And with these energies across the sky from Yeshua, Yeshua is embodiment of Christ consciousness. It is empowering Pluto, empowering our relationship, seventh house, with our own inner Yeshua. See here, Yeshua retrograde. That's our inner Yeshua, our inner Christ light, our inner Christ consciousness, and our relationship with our inner Christ consciousness is being empowered through this primary activation at this gate. And let me move back over here to the slides. And so this is what's happening within this gate activation at this time. And so here we go. If you want to know more about these other energies and what's going on with them, you can contact me personally. This is significant and important information because these specific aspects are informing this Christo-Sophia light codes that are coming in. They're coming in through the galactic center. And the way that these aspects are interacting with each one of our own unique natal and solar return charts is also informing these Christo-Sophia light codes. So this is a very dynamic process that's happening today. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to establish our sacred space. There, I got it. Finally, I got that smaller. Establish our sacred space. we're going to call in our galactic collaborators before we start the guided meditation to the Venus temple in Egypt. So just get yourself comfortable and relaxed. Close your eyes, take some deep inhales. Another deep inhale. And one more really deep inhale. Bring that inhale all the way down to the tip of your tailbone. Okay, and I claim this space for the Sophia Christ consciousness. I call in the cosmic Sophia, who is divine wisdom, and Mary Magdalene, who is the embodiment of Sophia consciousness. I call in the cosmic Christ, who is divine will, and I call in Yeshua, who is the embodiment of the Christ consciousness. I call in our Arcturian and Pleiadian star beings who have committed to this galactic New Earth project. And for all of us that are present here today and will be joining us in our linear future, I call in our mentorship councils. I call in our galactic teams. I call in our spirit allies. And I call in the guardians of the Venus temple at Alexandria, the Shikshak. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so you can use this image here, put it in your mind's eye, your third eye, to connect with that place on the planet. Continue to take a deep inhale and prepare yourself with the intention of traveling through your light body to the Venus temple at Alexandria. Continue to take an inhale. And when you're ready, you can begin that journey to the Venus temple. Continue with the breath. Again, with the breath, inhale. And when you have arrived at the Venus temple, your awareness will let you know that you have arrived. And as you look through that third eye chakra to see that you have landed here at the Venus temple in Alexandria, we are greeted by the Shikshak. They are thrilled that we have shown up to be with them today. And they welcome us to their temple. Thank you. Thank you. And so the Arcturians and the Pleiadians are making themselves known. They're very excited to be here with us. They're using this human term, band of brothers. They kind of laugh and say it's really a band of brothers and sisters, that we are a coalition. We are a coalition of divine warriors that have worked together as light workers many, many times together. And so they're delighted to be reunited with us. So take a time right now, inhale. and perceive which of the Arcturians, which of the Pleiadians are anxious to greet you, to embrace you. These are ancient friends. Yes, thank you. Thank you. They are ready. They are ready. Yes, we are ready too. We are ready too. Thank you. So I am being made aware of the Christed beings who have shown up. Wow. I can't even put a number to the Christed beings that are here. These include Christed beings that are actually incarnated on our planet. They tell me that they come from the high mountain ranges like the Andes and the Himalayas, that they are at the heights of these ranges where humanity doesn't tread. They have shown up here for us today. And other Christed beings from other planets, from our other star systems, from other dimensions, they're all here. And they're creating a circle around us. From where we are, they are out at a radius of 8 miles going around us. And they are creating a sphere of light. It goes 8 miles up into our atmosphere, 8 miles down into the earth around us. And this sphere of light is like a cloaking device so that we can feel safe and protected to do our work here without interference, without distortion, without disturbance. And they're telling me that they are going to be working with our inner Christ light, amplifying the attunement and frequency of our inner Christ light while we do this installation of the Christo-Sophia light codes. So they're telling me that through this amplification process, you may lose a sense of your physical self, and that's okay. Let go. That you are actually tuning in to your real self, your authentic self, as an embodiment of love. This is our real self. So they are here to serve and support us through this initiation ceremony. So see yourself creating a circle with the Shikshak, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, everyone who has come here today. And see yourselves connected, heart to heart, creating a heart grid here, a grid of light from heart to heart. Okay, we're ready. So now the stellar gateway is opening for the cosmic Sophia energies to descend into us, and for the Christo-Sophia light codes to begin to descend through us onto the planet and into the Venus temple. So perceive that stellar gateway opening, it's expanding. However that feels to you, whatever you may see is perfect. You may see certain kinds of lights or images. You may hear tones. You may feel sensations in your body. Whatever is showing up for you is perfect. And allowing this expansion to proceed. Okay, the soul star chakra is now expanding to allow the cosmic Sophia and these Christo-Sophia light codes to come through. Take a time to really relish this energy as it embraces you and moves through you. And now the crown chakra is expanding. These energies are coming closer and closer to us. And the third eye. This third eye is being activated today so that you can clearly discern this frequency of the cosmic Sophia and these Christo-Sophia light codes. You will know them as a gift of this divine wisdom that is birthing through you today. Okay, the heart chakra is expanding to allow this energy to continue to flow down. Feel that opening in your heart center. And now the solar plexus chakra, yes. Expanding with the light of these codes. And the sacral chakra is just blooming like a flower. Whoosh. That energy is just whoosh, opening her up. Feel that power, that creative power within your sacral chakra. And it's flowing down through the root chakra, and now through the earth star chakra, into the planet, into this Venus temple. Just allow this flow to continue to move through you, to continue to expand the space within you, and feel your attunement of your inner Christ and your inner Sophia being amped up higher and higher and higher. And so if you could see like a flame in your heart center, it's like the size of a bonfire as the inner Christ and the inner Sophia is being amped up within you. And you're being invited to walk into the fire. It is safe. It is pure love. This flame, this Christo-Sophia flame from each of us has been installed now within the Venus temple, and you can see within this temple, the lights just, it's like totally lit up. This light will never go out again. And the guardians, the Shikshak, are here to ensure that this light continues to enlighten this planet, enlighten the collective consciousness of humanity. So the Christo-Sophia codes have been installed, and you can take this time now to offer gratitude to all of the sacred souls, all of the sacred beings that have participated today. Take a moment now to embrace your beloveds that are here, that you know for eons. And prepare yourself now to return back to your own space. Take a deep inhale. Relax. Another deep inhale. Bidding adieu. And when you've returned back to your own space, take another deep inhale. Slowly and gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Gently, gently, gently begin to open your eyes and feel yourself back in your own space. And if you have some water with you, drink some water to help ground you. So thank you everyone for participating. And when you're all back and ready, we can move into the sharing circle, which is a new piece that we were inspired to include. Carol, I would love to hear from you about your experience, what you saw, what you felt, anything you received.
Let me make, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, very good. When I went, I was very aware of how lit up everything was from more of an inner light. When I came, I was aware of more than the beings that you spoke of. I was aware of a lot of light beings. My body actually changed to more just of a light body. I saw several different dragons on the top. The one behind me was very, very old, grayish black. I would call it ancient dragon, and it lowered its face down because it had a familiarity with the beings that were there, and I was just fascinated by how everything seemed to be more of a light body than a physical body, except for the dragons. The dragons, ironically, seemed very physical, very real. They had a very strong presence, and everything seemed to just like mesh very easily through the ceremony. There was just an acceptance of everyone, no matter the shade or the kind of light that they had or the shape of the light body. There was just a unification of light, is what I would want to say. I was aware of my own body, the light body, just being very vague, very with a non-firm line.
Right,
So I was not well defined.
right.
And when we were dismissed, oddly enough, the old dragon that was looking down, I felt myself just go back into, and instead of going back that way, I just came back in a physical form of a dragon and just came down here. And I just felt the third eye area. I almost felt like I need to massage it. So when you get done with your vision, we'll go ahead with the technique of actually massaging the third eye, because mine literally feels like it needs to be, it's activated definitely. But I think what we did, the intensity, like you said, it's more than, we are still human. We are still more than human, but the light codes that came in are like shimmering bits of sunlight that are within us. And since it's supposed to be, concentrated or used to accentuate, resonate more with the third eye, I just feel drawn to that. So I don't know, what was your vision when you went through?
Right. So basically what I'm sharing through the guided meditation is what I'm seeing as I'm there. And to speak to these light codes, everybody perceives these light codes differently. Some people may see them like ancient hieroglyphs that are like flamed hieroglyphs. Myself personally, if you've ever seen like the sun on a lake where you have like little diamond glints of light, that's how I perceive them. Everybody will perceive them in their own unique way, but because you kind of spoke to that a little bit, that this diamond glinty, yeah, that's how I see the codes. So yeah, in this third eye chakra is like, well, you could say that it was like sand blasted, or like pressure washed, like that, to be able to open it up and to be able to clearly perceive, clearly discern, to clearly know. So yeah, that was like the effect of it was, I don't know, people respond differently to different elements. So like the pressure washing, the sand blasting, like if you had a blowtorch, kind of like clearing it out.
What
So
did your body feel like? Did you feel like you're a light body, or what did you sense your physical form was?
yeah, no, totally in my light body. Much more so than when we were in Turkey. In Turkey, I still felt like I was shifting in and out of my physical vessel. But here was like totally in my light body.
Yes, and all the other races or beings and spiritualities, they're calling themselves spiritualities, I could see them in light bodies, but their bodies were different.
Right.
I mean, there were different forms, there were different outlines, there were different, almost what I would call frequencies. So as you looked out, there were like light frequencies, but they weren't like regular bodies. They were more like frequencies of light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would love it if you would like to take us through this third eye massage.
Alrighty. So one of my teachers is a Mahatma, and he taught third eye activation. So I'm gonna allow to bring some of his energy, and I'm not totally going to shift into him. I'm just going to listen to his energy. Whenever we activate, whenever we listen to the inner light, the inner breath, We must make space for the light. We must make space for the breath. So in following this, we breathe in the light that we were given, breathing into the head and releasing it. Breathing the light in through the top of the head, feeling it warm up the third eye, and releasing it through the feet, allowing the feet to feel open, allowing the feel energy to go through the bottom of the feet. Last time, bringing light through the top of the head, feeling it warm up the third eye, falling gently through the rest of the body, opening up the feet, allowing the feet to heal and release, to allow energy that is not of you, that does not belong to you, to go ahead and release through the body. We're going to go ahead and focus on the light center. You can either use 2 to focus on the area of the third eye, or you can use 3, whatever feels better for you. You want to go ahead and start under the eyebrows and very gently but firmly, gentle pressure, bringing it up through the third eye and spread your fingers out. So you're coming up, you're activating it, and you're spreading it through your forehead. Do it with the other hand. Underneath, you're going to go ahead, prong it out so the energy flows. This time, you're going to stop right at the third eye. Allow your concentration to focus. Allow your energy to focus. Allow your frequency to focus. See where your finger is as an important part of light. This is a point of light that you are activating, that you are focusing on. Breathing in through your fingers into the third eye. Breathing in the light, seeing your third eye open. Releasing anything that does not belong to you through that light. Let it go out. Bringing in the light into the third eye, bringing your fingers onto that point so that your brain is focusing on that light, bringing that in through that. Once again, releasing what does not belong you to, is not your highest and best, out through the third eye. Last time, bringing in the light through the third eye. Releasing anything that is not of your highest and best. We're going to take the middle finger of both hands. Allow them to meet on your eye. Gently massage, focusing your brain, your thoughts, your intentions. Everything is on where your fingers are. See the light, feel the heat. Allow any sensations of heat, trembling, warmth, opening is natural. You are putting your intent and your frequency on claiming your sovereignty of your own divine light. Bringing it out through your eyelids. Sit for a moment, allowing the concentration of the mind to still sit on the third eye. Gently allowing concentration, thought, mind, focus on that point. We're going to ask you to see that. If you need to put your fingers back on that, focus on that spot. And as you focus, I want you to gently, non-directly, and distinctly focus on that point. Go ahead if you see darkness, that is okay. Focusing on the point that your fingers are touching. Visualize, imagine a golden light. It might flicker, it might be solid. Allow your intent, your imagination, your frequency to focus and bring forth a light. It may be small, it may be medium, it might be moonlight. Breathing into that image. Breathing out. Seeing the image of the light. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last time. Seeing the image of the light. breathing in, breathing out, to activate this light, to activate the expansion of the third eye. If you choose, once or twice a day, sit in quiet, in peace, focusing on your thought, your meditation, your mind, on the third eye, allowing yourself, practicing to see the light that is there, that is within you, that everyone holds, that divine light, the divine spark that we all have. It may come quickly, it may take a while, but it is something that with the light codes and intention, it will come. We thank you and we honor your presence. My third eye is on fire.
Yeah, I can feel it too. It's like throbbing.
It's like feels like my face is red right there. It's my face.
Let me put on my glasses. I can see.
My face like feels red right
I
there.
can
It's like that's a
see.
different color.
Yeah, I can see like this part of your forehead is red.
Yeah, and I wasn't pushing that hard. I was just trying to just focus the intent, focus the mind. I was actually listening to myself on my head. I do feel a certain focusing, and I guess what the intent is that to open up the third eye is just, yes, it's open, but it's something that needs to be attended to. And what he was speaking of is the light, the sun, the moon that you actually see with your third eye is a beginning point of using that light.
Yeah.
So you're using your divine light, they call it, to use that as part of what we are.
Yeah. 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 And so, I've had this experience in my own meditations, and different language resonates with different people. And so the way I've experienced is like a light piercing the darkness. And it might start like just like a pinprick. And
Yes.
then it gets larger.
Yep.
And larger. And then it'll kind of like come and go.
Yes.
But
Yep.
it keeps coming. And it's not something that you can like make happen.
No, you can't.
It just shows up.
And it is a manifestation of your own inner divine light.
Yes.
So now that we've actually spent the time,
yeah.
So now that we've spent the time activating the third eye, this will be a meditation to enhance and bring forth the work that we've done.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing all of that. I'm going to go ahead and bring us back to the slides. And, in the future, this will be a great modeling for those that are on the private call to be able to share what they're experiencing at the Venus temple and with the installation of the codes as well. So thank you for all of that, Carol. So at this point, we are going to go ahead and allow space for Yeshua to bring through a message to us related to this particular ceremony.
I always come forth to speak of starting within the breath. The breath is a tool that you are given to maintain your sovereignty and your connection to God. Today, what we experienced was both the light and the dark, how to maintain and experience the sovereignty, the light that you are. I have always spoken of taking a short period of time every day for yourself to connect with God, to connect with your light. I am hoping that you're taking your time to connect with yourself, to connect with your spirit is in your highest and best. And we would want you to know that each step you walk forward in this path, we are holding out your arms for you. And each step you come closer to us, you will realize that you have never left us, that you have always been with us, that you are always part of the light, that you're always part of the light family. And as we go forward on this journey, you will understand what an enormous and beautiful and loving light family this is. For humans are of the light, but there are many other races that are of the light, that do love the light that we carry. And the more that we learn about the light that we are, the light that we carry. And once again, I always say, take time every day to honor yourself, to have silence with yourself, to find your God divine light. For even though it may seem at times in this time, in this space, in this linear world, that there are dark clouds, you are a light of God. You are all light of God. Everyone that is listening to this or not listening to this is with the community of light. It is always everyone's choice in a non-judgmental way, but we do not judge, to walk the light, to expand yourself, to not expand yourself. It is your life. It is your free will. We honor and love and hold you in our hearts for the journeys that you walk on. We are always with you. You are never alone. Much love. We are always here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that message. I love it. It's always nice to have that reassurance that we are not alone. And
I never know what he's going to say. I never know what he's going to say.
yeah,
He's got his own words that he wants to speak.
perfect. We love receiving them. So this is a new piece that we're putting in also, a question and answer piece. I will just tell you that if you have questions come up and you want to email them to me in advance, you can do that from my website on my Contact Us page. There'll be a link to my website, goldenraycenter.com, I believe. I can't remember my website. It'll be on the last slide, the thank you slide. You can send me those, or you can take the time here to ask questions by typing them into the chat, or using the feature where you can raise your hand. I will tell you that I did receive a question from somebody. They wanted to know how I know who the guardians are at the Venus temples. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the share here so that I can introduce you to my crystal skull being. This is an Arcturian crystal skull being. This particular Arcturian crystal skull being is an earth wisdom keeper. And because of that, was brought to me specifically for this galactic new earth project. Now, his name is difficult for me to translate. It's very similar to the ancient Hebrew name for Simeon, but because I can't pronounce it, he said I can use the name Simeon. So we communicate with each other regarding each temple. I do a meditation with him, and he's actually the one that lets me know who the guardians are at each temple. So that information is not in the Venus temple book that I mentioned earlier, has not been channeled by Thoth. This is coming to me from Simeon, my Arcturian crystal skull, who is an earth wisdom keeper. So is there anything else you'd like to know about him, Carol, or anything that you're picking up from him that you'd like to share?
Let me Let me get my thing on. Okay, there we go. Let me go so I can see him. Put him up close to the thing.
Does that help?
That really looks off-worldly. That honestly looks off-worldly. When I saw it, I was like, that looks a lot like the beings that were there. I mean, you know what I mean? That looks a lot like the beings. I don't mean to sound facetious, but that looks like
Right.
the what I recognize as what was there.
Right. Yeah. And he told me, I mean, I'm calling him he because in the beginning, humans are pronoun based. We've learned that, right? And I wasn't sure whether to call him he or she because I was feeling both energies. And he told me that he's actually an androgynous being, but
Yes.
because of the way he's connected with me, I'm experiencing him more through my masculine energy, so I can call him a he.
Yeah, I felt the more androgynous
Mhm.
teacher too.
Yeah. In the beginning, it was funny. It was like calling him he, calling him she, and I was like, well, which is it? So, yeah.
Ask him if he had the Earth and Lemuria was around. Just pick that up out of nowhere.
Can you repeat the question? Because it kind of went out. I didn't hear the question.
Yeah, I just picked up that he was a Lemurian. He was a Lemurian. Is that what he's telling? Ask him if he was a Lemurian. He walked the earth as a human at one time.
So he's telling me, yes, he has been on the earth, which is why he is an earth wisdom keeper. He has been incarnated on the earth. And he's saying that his frequencies feel resonant with Lemurian and Atlantean energies, but it's actually much more ancient than the Atlantean and Lemurian energies. But that would be the frequency that most humans would connect with him. So he was here before those civilizations.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. It's just
Yeah.
it's just one of those things that
Yeah.
I picked up from him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And well, like I said, as we're tuning into what we're receiving, it's nice to get the confirmations and to know that what we're picking up on is actually, what's going on there with those frequencies. So this will be going forward. This will be the section where people can ask questions and answers about anything that we discuss in any of our temple ceremonies, and specifically the current temple ceremony. So at this point, I forgot to tell you about the next ceremony. Oh goodness. So the next ceremony is going to be on March 28th. Remember, now we're going down here to the throat chakra. We call that the portal of communication. That's the portal or the gate that will be activated by the moon and Venus coming together. And this temple is actually a landscape temple in France. Rennes-le-Château is a point on the landscape temple that is in the shape of a pentagram where this temple is located. It's called the Temple of the Midnight Sun. And I'll tell you that I was actually at this temple in September of 2019. I traveled to France to participate with our host or our hostess and 6 other light beings. So there were 8 of us in the group. And all of the work that I've been doing since that trip, September 2019, and especially this Galactic New Earth project, is a manifestation of a multi-dimensional attunement that I had on the seat of Isis that is located near Rennes-les-Bains, that is in this Venus temple, this landscape Venus temple. So I'll have some pictures of that in the next presentation. But I'm super excited to be able to go back to this temple because it was such a profound experience. And I'll even, in the description underneath this video, I'll put some links to some blog postings that I wrote about my experience there at the seat of Isis. So I'm really excited to be able to go back to this Venus temple. So March 28th, put that on your calendar. I'm going to have to change this. I am not going to put the Zoom link in the description. So I'll take that off this slide for next time. I'll be sending Zoom links out as a private invitation. Each of you that are receiving it are trusted by me because I know you're doing this light work to be able to share it with the light workers in your community. So consider your sharing it to them an invitation as well. Please do not publicly post the link to the Zoom session on any kind of social media. This is a private invitation. Right, Carol?
Yep.
We do what we must do.
True.
So here we are. We're at the final slide. Thank you so much for participating with this initiation ceremony. I look forward to having you join us in March. Here's my website, goldenraycenter.com. You can join my newsletter. You can send me a message through the contact us if you have questions about anything we're doing or questions you'd like included in the next ceremony at the question and answer piece. So I'm feeling complete. How are you feeling, Carol?
Yep. I think it was wonderful.
I want to thank you so much for your dedication and your support. It's meant a lot to me, especially today, considering what we've been through. And a shout out again to Val and Angela for their support too.
True. Couldn't have done it without everybody.
Right, right, absolutely. So at this point, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and we'll see you in March. Bye-bye, everybody.